My name is Rick Tischhafer. I'm the president of the North Dakota Fur Hunters and Trappers Association. Today we're going to demonstrate a caster mound set for beaver protected by a 10-inch body gripping trap. Our safety minute for today is that you always want to be prepared for anything to go wrong. Trapping with a partner is recommended. You can share memories, share experiences, and share the workload. You want to have all your safety equipment along. Today I have a tile spade that I use to poke along in front of me to make sure my bottom is firm and I don't run into any surprises. When we're dealing with body gripping traps, the setting tongs is always within arm's length. Next thing, on our larger body gripping traps, we want to make sure that we have a safety gripper attached to the set trap. It's one of the things that's the last to be removed from the set as we leave. All right. Letting someone know where you're at if you're working alone, what time you plan to return, the area that you're going to be working in is a benefit, and just in case something does go wrong when you're by yourself. We've chosen this small stream. It does have some beaver activity. There's some beaver dams down below us and beaver dams above us, some bank dens. We've scouted the area, found some spots where there's already caster mounds that exist. Caster mound is what a beaver does generally in the springtime. And what they'll do is, as the ice goes out and the water opens up, they go along their travel routes and make sure that they don't have any unwanted visitors like other beaver that are traveling. Generally that 2-year-old beaver, he's a traveler. Things don't get settled in until his 3rd year. So there's always traveling beaver, so they want to protect their area. What they do is they push up a mound of mud and grass and dirt from the bottom of the creek or waterway, and then they'll get up on top of that mound and they'll secrete some of their own caster gland material on that mound. It basically announces their presence and it identifies their territory. So there's a few of them on this waterway, so we know there's some beaver activity here. What we've chosen is a small inlet. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to make our own caster mound set and imitate that another beaver has been there. What that will cause is the resident beavers that are patrolling this streamway to investigate, and as they investigate that caster mound, they'll be passing through that 10-inch body grip trap and be caught. So we've got an inlet that basically narrows things down for our trap location. I'm going to take my tile spade and I'm going to kind of work up the bank so that it looks like there's been some activity there. Dig this up a little bit, soften it up. Like so. I'm going to go in and I'm going to basically slick it up. Just like a beaver came in and pushed up some mud and material from the bottom for that mound set. This is where we're going to place our lure once our set is complete. Gone ahead and found a very good location for my body gripping trap to sit, so that generally half in and half out of water. That's a good rule. So what we've done with this, we're going to actually set this trap upside down so that our trigger frame and dog are on the bottom. What this does is, when this is half in, half out of the water, all the beaver sees is this opening. All right, so there's nothing, if we use the trigger frame and dog up on top, there'd be something that they could focus on and may prohibit them from passing through it. With the trap set and the trigger configuration here, as the beaver passes through, the trap is still going to fire where we want it, so that it gets the jaws of the trap end up behind the head and underneath the lower jaw. They don't see anything, so they're a little bit more confident about going through that trap. So we'll take our trap and set it down into the water. We're going to center it in our inlet, and we're going to stabilize it. I'm gonna leave my safety gripper on till the last moment. I'll be able to take my safeties off. All right, because I have my safety gripper on. All right, so I'll take my safeties off, and then we're gonna go ahead and stabilize the trap by placing one stick through the springs on one side, push that into the bottom, like so. Take another stick and do the same thing on the opposite side. Push our springs down. Then we get this a little tighter. There we go, like so. We use these two sticks to stabilize the trap so it doesn't get knocked over as the beaver passes through. Take a little grass and kind of hide the rest of my spring material here. Kind of blend it in so it looks natural. So get everything firmed up. The last thing that we're going to do with the trap itself is to anchor it. Now we've got a little bit of current here. You can see it passing by the trap. It's a good idea to anchor on the down, if you have current on the downside of the set location. All right. That way when the beaver gets trapped, it'll get into the current and actually drift down lower than the set and kind of leave that set location still good. All right. So we used a re-rod stake to anchor our trap. Trap is nice and stable. It's exactly where I want it to be. So as that beaver investigates that smell, it's going to come up and swim right through the trap. You can see by where the triggers were at that they're underneath the surface of the water. There's a nice open window so that beaver has an unobstructed view of the shore. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take our safety gripper off. I'm going to add some lure. The lure for today is castor, based on castor from other beavers. It's ground up, it's dried and ground up. I've added a little bit of mineral oil to it and glycol. The glycol bonds everything together and it acts like a little bit of a antifreeze. And then the mineral oil causes that smell to bleed across the water. And I'll show you. I'm gonna lower this stick down to the water and I want you to watch the oil slick that it produces. See that oil slick? So if you have a beaver that's swimming along, his nose is an inch and a half off the surface of the water. Having that oil slick of castor mound smell or castor smell, he's going to zone right in on that. Okay, that's going to be his target. It's easy to pick up. Basically what you've got is a scent stream all the way downstream. All right, and then beavers will swim as they're swimming along, and all of a sudden they'll pick up that scent stream and they'll follow it right into where that scent is originating from. So, and that's about all the castor you need for making this type of set. Just a little dab on a stout stick, and we're going to place this stick at the base of the castor mound so that a little bit of it touches the water, because I want that bleed to occur. And again, that comes from mineral oil. Just like that. Smooth everything out, make it look natural again. And that set is ready to catch beaver. Thanks for watching today, and good luck on the trap line.